Oh man, I definitely want to ask about kind of the how-to around mentors. And I mean, for me personally, the people that have mentored me have helped me level up so quickly. But I want to go back to when you were an 11-year-old kid, because I have a 9-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old daughter. And my parents worked in the school system. My in-laws worked in the school system. They were hardworking people, but they weren't business people. And so my wife and I are the first generation of kind of business entrepreneurs trying to raise, smart kids that can do big things in the world. What were some things, or what are some things that you think is effective when you've got a 9 and a 6-year-old, and you want to help them have a business mindset, while also not, I don't want to push them so much that they end up hating business, because there's always those parents that maybe push a kid to do football and they never want to do football because dad pushed it too much. So what would you recommend with my 9 and 6-year-old that I do to help them be attracted towards some business ideas?
So my dad, what he did for me, and I like some of this. My dad, he when I was growing up, younger than 11, my dad was a bartender. And one day he said, "Hey, I've saved up enough money. I want to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to open up my own bar." And that is when I was 11. And he brought me in to the bar to help out. And it's funny because people say, "Well, what were you doing? Washing dishes, serving food, or washing glasses at the bar?" I said, "Well, yeah, I did all of that because my dad owned the place. But then at the end of the day, he'd bring me in and show me the money." And he'd show me where the money was coming from. He said, "Here's the bar business, here's the food business, and here's the expenses, and here's the suppliers that I deal with." And little did I know, but I just opened up to all of that. I would go with him to pick up supplies, and I would, I would work all weekend, and I really got into it. So I think giving exposure to the kids is good about the inner workings of things, if you have an ability to do that with what business you're already in. So that can be a very soft approach. It's not hardcore, because for me, I wanted to know more. I wanted, I was looking more at the business side when I was, in my teens, than I was washing the dishes type of thing, right? So now, I think one of the things that is so interesting about Shark Tank, I get stopped all the time, parents with their kids. "Hey, meet my 14-year-old, meet my 9-year-old. They love Shark Tank, and we watch it together." And because I sit on a couple of college board of directors. I'm at the University of South Florida, the University of Tampa, et cetera, right? And you know what they want? And one of those two asked me for a library of over 100 different segments of Shark Tank. I brought it all in, and then they started teaching it in the school. So I think there's education, there's websites, there's TV shows now. There's a lot more shows that have this kind of sharkish kind of behavior. The West Texas Investors Club and others that you'll see. But CNBC has a lot of education now in the world of kind of the Shark Tank style shows, because they run 2 hours a night of Shark Tank reruns. So, I think it's giving some great exposure, but softly, so you can let them ask for it and want to get more information. And it's, the educational side, I think, is powerful. And then you just open it up to other opportunities that come along. Just one last thing, and I'll throw it back to you, Joe. I do a lot of events, and last year I was on the road 225 days. This year, only about 10, because they're now switched to virtual. But I'm doing virtual events Shark Tank style, meaning I'm taking pitches all around the world, colleges, universities, high schools, grade schools, corporations, you name it. We just did a big one with 30,000 people in India. And I've got one coming up that'll be at a university here in the United States. So there's great content out all over the place that the kids can tune into also.
Oh, such great advice.